What does this tell you about Kyrie?
Kyrie doesn't do things that he doesn't want to do, and he thinks he's above the rules. It's as simple as that. Skip, that's in your contract. I don't know how, I'm assuming that NFL and, NBA and MLB contracts are written like the NFL. You got to talk.
Yep.
Especially, you have to be made available to the media if you're uninjured.
And by the way, you were one of the all-time great interviews, like after practice, after games. You were always available,
yes.
But you knew it was part and parcel of the entertainment business that you were in.
It's a part of the job.
Yes.
Just like practice and meetings and playing, talking to the media after the ball game or before practice is a part of the job.
Because it helps sell
the product.
Yes.
But the NBA is going at it wrong. They fined him $25,000 and the team $25,000 in December, and now they upped it to $35 and $35. You got to make it cost prohibitive. You got to drop it $200. And then the next time it's $400, and the next time it's $800. You make it so that because what is $60,000 to a guy that's making $33 million? No.
Like to your point, I was looking at what it would cost Aaron Rodgers to start holding out.
Yeah,
it's cost prohibitive. Once you get to training camp, it starts to add up.
It's like $30,000 a day, and then so at the end of a month, you might be down by $10 million.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
So but you make it cost prohibitive.
Right.
Skip. So think about guys like LeBron and Giannis and KD that's been having to do this year after year for decades. LeBron is doing this for 18 years. KD for 14. The Hardens and the Russ. Kyrie, they're not asking you to do anything they haven't asked the other great players in this league to do since the inception. This is not, they're picking on Kyrie. Skip, he said, when they find him, he's like, I'm here for peace, love, and greatness. So stop distracting me and my team and appreciate the art. We move different over here. I do not talk to pawns. My attention is worth more. Skip.
That was his response after the first
fight. After the first fight in December.
Yep.
We appreciate the art.
I don't talk to pawns, meaning
we're not
reporters are pawns.
Yeah, we're not asking you about your personal life. We want to ask you about the game. Kyrie, what happened? You guys played well. You got to your spot. You got KD involved. Yada. I don't get what he's getting at. I understand that, like I said, Kyrie has gone through a transformation. What the George Floyd and the Kenosha, it impacted him. It touched him in a different way than it touched a lot of other people.
Yep.
And I commend him because he has a big heart. Give to the WNBA.
He has a big brain, too.
Yeah. Give to HBCUs. Yep. He's given to paid the tuition for 9 students. So Kyrie, you can't do this, bruh. I get it, but just fulfill your obligations and then move on about your way.
Yep. So you know how big a fan I am of Kyrie Irving on the court because he's not just he's a great player.
Yeah.
He is a great clutch shooter. He's proven it again at Milwaukee the other night. He was making big clutch threes. They didn't quite get home. KD missed a couple of his. But the point is, I try so hard to light Kyrie off the floor, and I can't. He makes it impossible. He has high IQ. He has high basketball IQ, but he has high IQ off the floor. And I'm always fascinated by all his theories, some of them a little crackpotish, but he's got theories because he's a thinker. He's a deep thinker, and I love that and appreciate that about him. But in the end, he makes a ton of money to play basketball. And it is an art form, and I get that. And he calls himself an artist. But in the end, he's part of a big entertainment business. Right. And this is just part of what you have to do to make your checks. What's he making? I didn't even look it up. $33 million. $33 million he's making. And you're asked occasionally to go sit on these Zoom interviews.
They're not even, I don't really think they're in the room anymore, Skip. They're on Zoom. You're on Zoom cam.
And here's the painful irony of Kyrie's Zoom interviews or any interviews. They're great. He is enthralling. He is captivating. He can really talk. And yet, every once in a while says, this is beneath me. I'm better than this. You reporters, you're just pawns in the game of life. Do you remember Blazing Saddles? You don't know Blazing Saddles,
I
right?
do, but I remember Blazing Saddles.
I'm just a pawn in the game of life. Okay.
That was the guy that played the Detroit Lions, Alex Karras. Yeah, Cleavon Little.
He was a really good football player.
He was.
Yeah, Cleavon Little was great. Okay, so the point is that Kyrie, to me is, I'll quote my friend Tom House, the throwing coach for Brady and Breeze and all the top quarterbacks. He once told me many years ago when he was the pitching coach to the Texas Rangers that so many of the players that he coaches are victims of what he calls suspended adolescence, meaning they've been spoiled and coddled for so long that they never got forced to grow up.
Right.
And unless you have some trauma in your life, some travesty in your life, if everything's roses for you to a certain level, and for Kyrie it's pretty much been a pretty nice ride, then you're not forced to suddenly grow up right before your very eyes. And right now, I think he's stuck in suspended adolescence. He doesn't get the big picture yet of just how blessed he's been and how it's important to the team for him to speak as a team leader. Because if you don't speak, especially about a controversy, as you always say, well, then everybody else has got to speak for you. If you're not there, remember, he didn't even inform his coach at that point, the rookie coach, Steve Nash, about his hiatus, his sabbatical that he was taking. What's going on? What's up? Nobody knows. Well, that's Kyrie. He has played 49 of 66 games this year, and when he plays, he has played great.
Oh, you can't question his play. He's spectacular.
Okay, so now it's starting to boil down to Kyrie. Are you worth it? Because we're about to find out, right?
Yeah.
Are you worth it? You with KD and James, a lot of people are going to expect you to win the East and maybe win it all. Right?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to have to, if you're going to shut up after games, then you're going to have to put up during games, right?
Well, you can't, because I think that's where the NBA, the Commissioner Silver will step in and the fines will be increased. If you don't talk after a playoff game, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's when they're going to make it cost prohibitive. But I don't understand. Kyrie, you have a product. You have the Kyrie shoe. A part of that is,
That's true.
Come on, bro. Like I said, Skip, they're not asking this man, about his kids, about his family and all that other stuff. They just want to talk to you about the game. You say something, you got to understand. When you say something about, well, we don't need a coach, they're going to ask you about that. Don't get mad about reporters doing their job, ask you about something that you said. They didn't ask you, what do you think about Steve Nash as a coach? You just volunteered that. So when they ask you, you're trying to make something out of it. How do we make something to say out of it when you said we don't need a coach? We're going to coach ourselves. But sometimes I don't get these players. Like you said, Skip, they think short term, they think narrow sided. It's about me. But it's about league, expanding the league, giving access. And so I don't get his point in this situation here.
LeBron has always gotten that. LeBron almost always, I think he always speaks.
Yes.
And when he speaks, it's not good, it's great. Because he always has something, like every post-game press session with LeBron is just, it's grist for the mill, man. We're always talking, he always gives you something after a game that is intriguing and interesting.
You were around, you were covering the league when they played. Do you ever remember Michael not talking to the media?
No, and
Magic, Larry.
Michael was the first one to say, I will not speak until I am cleaned up.
He was fully dressed, going to have an earring in his
everything.
He was going to be suited to booty. Now, I mean, a lot of guys, most of the time, guys like, well, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. They have the ice on their knees, Skip. They still be in their shorts and things like that. They just want to get it over. Mike said, nah, I'm the attraction. I know y'all want to talk to me, so I'm going to ice my knees. I'm going to get in the tub. I'm going to shower. I'm going to get dressed. And guess what? Y'all 300 guys and gals would be still sitting right here waiting on me to talk.
We often had to wait at least an hour.
Yes.
He would be the last one in, and he would be the best one.
Yes, but that comes along with the territory, Kyrie. You want to be a superstar? A part of being a superstar is talking to the media.
Correct.
it just is, Skip.
Well, he might be able to continue to get away with it if he goes and carries them to a championship, but we're about to find out.
No, but they're going to expect him to speak more. The better he plays, the more they're going to want to talk to him, and the commissioner is going to want to Kyrie. Now,
agreed.
We're business partners now.
Yeah, what I don't understand is he can use the media to his advantage, which, I mean, I've worked as a sideline reporter, I still do, and I just don't understand. He can do his job for them. It just being easy goes a long way. I would have loved to interview you, Shannon, in the locker room after your days. I feel like that would have been a great interview. Always something to say. I just found a good role in this position.
I interview you every day.
Every single